everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. Coming up, as you see right here, MJF stands tall. MJF had a battle with Mark Briscoe to see who was going to win, who was going to have the advantage in the Forbidden Door. But that Forbidden Door Cage War, we'll talk about with Team MJF versus Team Briscoe, as well as Darby Allin getting destroyed. Also, too, Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan are gone from TNA. We'll get to the details on what's going on between Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan leaving TNA. We get the AEW Ring Report started right here, right now, here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here for the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on the Pro Wrestling Show for the AEW Ring Report. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is here. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get the AEW Ring Report started right here, right now. We kick things off here on the Ring Report with a lot of matches and stuff like that. We get to this right here. We get to this. Will Ospreay having a face-to-face confrontation with Swerve Strickland. Both men will be competing in the finals of the Orange Cup. Which one of these men wants it real bad? You can tell who wants it the most. Both men had gave their speeches and gave their heartfelt speeches that who needed the most. And they both saying that they want to be no one contender and go to All In to challenge the AEW champion, whoever they might be, between MJF or Mark Briscoe. But they got to this point in this level to see who's going to advance. Like we said, MJF, not MJF, but Swerve won his match over Brody King, as well as Will Ospreay won his match over over who you know who. So this is the Mark Davis, their former teammate. This is the bracket right here that you see right here on your screen. These two men will compete for the number one contender shot and the Owen Club champion. Will Ospreay said he needs it the most. Swerve saying he needs it. So it's going to be a battle of wits between these two men who wants to be the Owen Cup champion. So you kind of see, but Will Ospreay leaving a mark. Ospreay making it point to none, shoving Swerve down on his keister, making sure Swerve gets the didn't get the last word. These two men will meet at Forbidden Door to see who's going to be the Owen Cup champion. Well, speaking of that, in the women's section, Mercedes Moné, looking at the Owen Cup, Mercedes Moné making it seem like she wants to be the Owen Cup champion. She's a step closer, perhaps, to go for the women's championship. Mercedes Moné was in action as well. Mercedes went against Mercedes went against this lady right here. Musan, she won a match. So Mercedes Moné getting herself set and ready. So Mercedes Moné getting herself ready to go. We'll see. Mercedes Moné looks like she wants to be champion. We'll see if Mercedes will continue her momentum to perhaps win the Women's Owen Cup and go on. We'll see. So Mercedes Moné getting herself together. Well, speaking of that, we can tell you right here on the AEW Ring Report, the AEW Ring Report is proudly presented by the Pro Wrestling Show. So we want to go to this right here. We see MJF is trying to rally the troops. MJF trying to see who Don Callis is going to select to be on his team, the best of his family. MJF was trying to see who Don Callis had. Don Callis selected Kevin Knight, Andrade, a whole bunch of heaps and stars. Kyle Fletcher. Um, everybody was in the group, so Andrade was kind of a little bit upset that he got a team up with MJF, but Don Callis trying to call Andrade, and Don Callis saying you'll get your shot when the time needed. Also, too, with speaking of MJF opposing team, look like Mark Briscoe found a new group. He found Takeshita, Orange Cassidy, Kyle Fletcher, Roger Strong, and Darby Allin. They was going to help out, help even the odds. The odds were kind of even a little bit. We'll get to it in a minute how it went down. But we saw the tag team champions Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian, both men coming out there. Gonna get their hands on the dogs. They're gonna get their hands on the dogs. They're gonna have a tag team championship match against the dogs. That's coming down the road. So we'll see them against the dogs coming up. Also, too, we see this. Dude got laid out. And he got laid out for his self-worth. He got laid the hell out. So we saw that tonight as well. Also, too, you see this right here. We see Brody King, Bandino. They might be going against the Death Riders. That might be coming soon, so we'll see that coming up as well. So a lot of moving parts throughout, but like we said, this is going to be real devious right here to watch. But he got laid out. So also too, Tommaso Ciampa is on teasing about Chris Jericho. Ciampa doesn't like Jericho and doesn't like what Jericho did to him last week when Jericho was trying to embarrass him. Jericho was saying outrageous stuff. Tommaso Ciampa saying a lot about Jericho. Also Ciampa saying he's gonna get his hands on Jericho whenever that may be. So Jericho's trying to make a star out of Tommaso Ciampa. It looks like to me. Also, we get to the main event. We told you that was going to be tag team warfare as Mark Briscoe. Teams got a whole heap of teams. And this is right here, Mark Briscoe versus and his team versus MJF in a 12-man tag team match. Who we saw who they selected. And, Mark Briscoe won. They choose their team for Forbidden Door for the steel cage matches. Really didn't make no sense. Why I don't know why they did that. They couldn't wait for the pay-per-view, but I guess they wanted to make it seem like they was gonna do some warfare. It came out being a bit, you know what? Well, MJF won his match tonight. MJF, along with Okada, Kevin Knight, and the whole league. Andrade looking from afar. Andrade's not a little bit pleased, but we saw that MJF won his match. So MJF getting the advantage. They could have did a war advantage match or something. Pick one person out their team and stuff like that, but they couldn't do that. They just, oh my god, they just don't know. They just mismatched. Comes to matches and stuff, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna keep a real close eye on it and stuff. There we go. But MJF stands tall with his team and the double and toward Forbidden Door. All right, that ends the AEW ring report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, that is the ring report. We move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we talk about this right here. A huge shakeup in TNA wrestling has gone forward as Tommy Dreamer appeared on the Busted Open podcast to announce that him and TNA mutually agreed that they're no longer going to be in business together. Tommy Dreamer was part of the creative team, and I think Tommy Dreamer probably was the one that was spearheading to push Tessa Blanchard and all the backlash she was getting. So Tommy Dreamer really decided to step down, stuff like that. So Tommy Dreamer no longer will be a part of the creative process in TNA. We're hearing that Road Dogg might be replacing Tommy Dreamer. It's just a report alleged. So we'll keep a close eye on this. But Dreamer was a little bit sad and crying. But like we said, I told you the other day, too, the Tessa Blanchard got released. Now TNA wants to do a strategic reduction, like lay off people and consolidate jobs into one and stuff. So yeah, Dreamer wasn't the one to get the job done. So we'll see what's next with Tommy Dreamer and stuff. Speaking of that, another former world champion, Sami Callihan, who used to be the director of live events on TNA and had his last match, has been let go. So Callihan, another voice that's been let go in TNA. So we haven't heard no word who's going to replace Callihan as we go forward. So we're going to keep a real close eye on that as we go. All right, that's been Wrestling Hot Topics here on the Pro Wrestling Show. As we leave you here on the AEW Ring Report, we're going to leave you with MJF standing victorious along with his new buddies over Mark Briscoe by MJ getting the victory over Roger Strong with the cross arm breaker. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the TNA Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.